Howdy everyone, Matt here. So I want to talk about another test. We're going to go back to the knee, talk about that, and that is Thessaly's test. So this is a relatively newer test. It came out in a paper in 2005. I am not going to try to pronounce the name of the authors because I will butcher it, because it came out of Greece and it was named not for any of the researchers, but from where it was developed. And they said it was the hospital where they did it, and it's because that this location had a 10,000 year continuous history. So they kind of give homage to that, which I think is pretty cool. So the Thessaly test is looking for meniscus tears or lesions. And what the thought is that if they put excessive stress on the knee, those meniscus, that it should produce pain. Now, with doing the test, what you do, so the person comes in and they say, oh, I have pain in my knee here. So Matteo will be the therapist here. And we're going to look at not the involved side. I like saying involved, not good or bad, but not the involved side. We look at the non-involved side first. And you only have them bend the knee 5 degrees. Now, what is 5 degrees of knee flexion? That. It's barely anything, really. So, there, I'm going to try to get that best I can, right there. And you have them stand on that leg. The therapist, Matteo is my therapist here. Hold them up, bend the other knee up with that little slight bend, and they turn all the way in and all the way out 3 times, really grinding down on that knee. Matteo is not very good at holding my balance. They're in and out 3 times. Then you can have them bend to 20 degrees. So 20 degrees of knee flexion there. So it's a little bit more. So getting that around right about in there or so. So same thing, Matteo, hold me up. And same thing, and we grind on it. In and out maximally. In it. And then we repeat for the involved side. Now, if the person has a production of pain or their symptoms, it's considered a positive. So, a little bit of the background. The original article came out. They found an extremely high sensitivity and specificity for both the medial and lateral meniscus. It was like it's in the 90s. However, further studies that have come out have not been able to reproduce that at that high of a level. So, there are other things that said it's not as good as prediction, because they did look at they took MRIs and found that they said, yes, you do have a meniscal tear, you have a meniscal lesion, and then they did these tests. One of them, they only tested it at 20. They didn't look at the 5 and then the 20, but they did perform it. And they found we couldn't get those 90%. They were in the 50s to 60s on it. So take that as you wish. Now, how do I use this test? Typically, how I use this is, one, if I have somebody just come up to me and they're like, hey man, I kind of hurt my knee. I think it may be a meniscus. And I may have them say, just stand, bend a little bit, we'll twist on it, kind of really grind it on there. We could do a quick little test like that and see what it is. Or, if I got my patient, and they're, they've been sitting there chatting with me about all their knee issues, and then we said okay, well, I'm gonna have you about to sit on the table, and they come up, and I said, well, you're right here, just bend your knee just a little bit, and we're trying to really kind of come on that knee, and we'll see what that does. It's a quick and easy test. It takes just a minute or 2. But I'm going to look at other things, mechanism of injury, signs and symptoms. We're going to throw in some other meniscal stuff in there as well to look at that. So that is Thessaly's test. What do you think about it? Do you use it in your practice? Do you think it's a good one to have in there? Do you use it with a cluster of other ones? So anyway, I wanted to present that, and just let me know your thoughts, your beliefs, opinions, and all that down below. And like always, take care of yourself, take care of your patients. See you next time.